It was a chilly winter morning, and the forest shimmered under a golden sun rays. In front of a little burrow, Oscar, a young fox with bright amber eyes, packed a small satchel. He had made up his mind. Today, he would find the legendary Echo Valley, a magical place whispered about by the forest animals, as a source of great wisdom and knowledge for whoever is able to find it. His heart raced with excitement as he stepped onto the snowy trail, leaving a path of paw prints behind. The world seemed quiet except for the crunch of snow under his feet and the distant chirping of birds. After hours of walking, Oscar reached his first challenge. A wide frozen river. The surface sparkled like glass, but cracks spread across it like spider webs. Beneath the ice, the faint gurgling of water warned of danger. Oscar hesitated, his ears twitching as he considered his option. A beaver working on his dam noticed Oscar and raised a sturdy stick. "That ice won't hold you," the beaver's expression seemed to say. But Oscar, eager to prove himself, ignored the beaver's unspoken advice. He took a few steps onto the ice. The ice groaned beneath him, and with a yelp, Oscar jumped back to safety. Realizing his mistake, he turned to the beaver, who patiently offered help. Together, they built a sturdy bridge using branches and ice chunks. And Oscar safely crossed to the other side. As the forest thinned, Oscar spotted the entrance to Echo Valley at the top of a steep, snowy hill. Two ancient trees, their gnarled branches covered in frost, stood like guardians. Their shimmering glow hinted at the magic that lay beyond. The climb was treacherous. The path was narrow and slippery. An icy wind swept through the air, stinging Oscar's fur. He dug his claws into the frozen ground, pushing forward despite the biting cold. A squirrel appeared. Pointing toward a safer path around the hill. But Oscar, determined to do things his way, shook his head and continued up the steep road. The wind grew fiercer as he neared the top. Nearly knocking him off balance. Finally, panting and trembling, he reached the peak. Only to see the squirrel hopping up the gentler trail with ease. Echo Valley stretched out before him. More beautiful than he had imagined. Towering cliffs, their walls sparkling with frost, encased the valley. Snowflakes drifted down like tiny stars, and at the valley's heart lay a frozen lake that gleamed like a mirror. Oscar stood at the lake's edge, his breath visible in the frosty air. "I wish to be the smartest animal in the forest," he whispered. The cliffs carried his words, repeating them like a distant song. But the valley remained silent, offering no magic, only the haunting sound of his own voice. Suddenly, the peaceful valley was engulfed by a snowstorm. Thick clouds hid the stars, and the wind howled like a wild beast. Snow fell in heavy sheets, erasing all paths. Oscar, cold and frightened, curled up by the frozen lake, unsure of what to do. Just then, a wise old owl appeared, her presence calm and steady despite the storm. She told Oscar that Echo Valley's magic wasn't about granting wishes, it was about hearing the echoes of life. The voices of others that guide us when we listen. With the owl's wisdom in his heart, Oscar listened to the squirrel and beaver as they worked together to guide him safely out of the valley. The storm began to ease, and soon the forest opened up before them, peaceful under the starry sky. Back at the campfire, Oscar shared his journey with the forest animals. "I've learned that trying to be clever isn't enough," he admitted. "Listening to others makes us stronger and wiser." The animals cheered, and Oscar felt a warmth in his heart that no wish could match. And so, under a blanket of stars, Oscar learned the greatest lesson of all. That true wisdom comes from listening. Not just to the echoes of the valley, but to the voices of friends and the wisdom of the forest.